president's visit comes after his announcement about revamping his migrant management strategy. Some migrant advocates and immigration experts tell KVUE's Ford Sanders some of the president's new guidelines are even more strict than Trump-era policies. Ford?
Absolutely, Darrenisha. Well, at first glance, there are now going to be stricter policies when it comes to things like expedited removal of illegal immigrants in the U.S., but also expanding pathways for what the Biden-Harris administration describes as safe and legal migration. However, some say it would have been helpful for the president to have visited sooner to have a better understanding of the situation before announcing new enforcements. A first in his presidency, Biden visiting El Paso's border after 2 years.
I am an optimist at heart, but I also know that when a president comes to a place, the experience is very curated. For example, there were migrants in El Paso who were moved because the president was coming.
I definitely wish that more advocates, would have been included in the visit. But I think it's really important for the reality check of what it looks like.
Melissa Lopez is the executive director for the Diocesan Migrant and Refugee Services in El Paso.
We provide legal representation and advocacy to migrants who are coming through our region.
Days ago, the Biden administration announcing a new set of guidelines, including some that extend beyond Trump-era policy and others like the allowance of 30,000 migrants seeking asylum to enter the U.S. monthly and stay for at least 2 years.
When you think about 30,000 people per month and you look at the number of people that are trying to enter the United States on a monthly basis, it's just not enough.
Immigration attorney Kate Lincoln Goldfinch says the border sees many more asylum seekers than what will be permitted each month, creating a dangerous situation at the border for migrant families.
That population has grown, and it has been a dangerous place for many migrants. Cartels often kidnap migrant families who are vulnerable in Mexico. They're not in their home country.
So what is the answer at the border? It's one of the most controversial topics in terms of legislation, but both say there are solutions, including proper and expanded processing for asylum seekers, as well as those simply seeking a fresh start here in the U.S.
What that does is that then provides them the ability to leave these local communities, because most of them have family beyond borders. Most of them don't have any intention of staying in border communities.
If there are ways for people who are not asylum seekers to come here and work legally, to support the jobs that we actually need them to do here in the United States, it's going to reduce a lot of the southern border issue.
Now, both tell me the most important thing for them is to make sure they continue to support migrants coming into the U.S. and hope to see new policies supporting their efforts. You can hear the full interviews with Lopez and Lincoln Goldfinch on our website at KVUE.com and on the KVUE YouTube channel as well. As more details of the Biden-Harris administration border enforcement announcement will also be on our website.